All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge Podcast. Now, last year saw the Baltimore Ravens finish the regular season with the best record in the NFL with a mark of 14-2, but they are far from being that squad so far here in 2020. Now, following today's 30-24 overtime loss at home to the Tennessee Titans, along with the Pittsburgh Steelers dominating 27-3 win today over the Jacksonville Jaguars, all signs point to the Ravens being unable to win the AFC North. You're looking at Baltimore right now. They are 6-4, while Pittsburgh is unblemished with a mark of 10-0. And with 6 games to go, I don't see the Ravens being able to leapfrog the Steelers for the top spot in that division. So now all focus for Baltimore has to be on getting a wild card spot. And it's not going to be that easy because first and foremost, Baltimore right now is the third best team in the AFC North. We saw the Cleveland Browns defeat the Philadelphia Eagles at home today, so now they're 7-3. Now, Baltimore is sitting there with a record of 6-4. They just lost to the Titans, and the Titans are 7-3. And you're talking about now the Titans own the tiebreaker over the Ravens in the head-to-head. So, those are two teams that you're looking up in the wild card against. Now, the Miami Dolphins, they're 6-3. They're currently losing to the Denver Broncos as this podcast is being recorded. So, this is another team that the Ravens have to contend with. And then you also have the Las Vegas Raiders. They're 6-3, and they're set to host the defending Super Bowl champions tonight in the Kansas City Chiefs. So it's a situation for Baltimore. They definitely have their work cut out for them in regards to making the postseason, as what looked like a slam dunk a few weeks ago definitely is not. You're looking at a Ravens team. They've lost 3 out of their last 4. 2 games at home, 1 to Pittsburgh, and then 1 to Tennessee today, of course. And then the shocker last Sunday night on the road in Foxborough. I know the elements weren't great out there, but this Ravens offense really just got punched in the mouth by the defense of the New England Patriots. And, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Lamar Jackson, he has been unable to consistently make plays from the pocket with his arm. And until he's able to do that, it's going to limit what the Ravens can do going forward. Now, don't get me wrong. Lamar was the MVP of the NFL previously, and he also ran roughshod over the NFL in 2019. But in his 2 trips to the postseason, we saw a situation where the defense has changed. They basically, dared him to beat him with his arm, and he was unable to do that. And we've seen that again this season from teams. We saw it from the Kansas City Chiefs. We saw it a couple of weeks ago against the Pittsburgh Steelers. We saw it again with the New England Patriots, and we saw it again today with the Tennessee Titans. This was a Ravens team that they were up 21-10 in the third quarter, and they could never seal the deal versus the Titans. And I say that from the standpoint, you got them 21-10. I know they kicked the field goal to make it 21-13. But at that point, if you're the Ravens, you've got to go down, you've got to put it together and get a touchdown drive. Why? Because if you make the score 28-13, the Titans have to abandon their beloved running attack with Derrick Henry. And then you're talking about a situation where Titans quarterback Ryan Tannehill has to beat you solely with his arm, and he is not a guy who can consistently do that. Of course, right after that, Tennessee got the ball back, another field goal to make it 21-16, and at that point, the momentum in the contest began to shift. And as the momentum began to shift, we saw Derrick Henry get it going. He was slowed down early on in the game. He took over in the fourth quarter and overtime. We saw that big run to win the game, and he actually finished with 133 yards on the ground. And, of course, when Derrick Henry gets it going, he tends to bully opposing defenses, and that's something that we saw today once again versus the Baltimore Ravens. Now, you look at it, for the Ravens coming down the stretch. Obviously, they have 6 games left. The next 3 weeks are not going to be easy. We're talking about a situation where Baltimore is going to be at Pittsburgh this Sunday night. Then they host Dallas on Thursday night in week number 13. That is a winnable contest right there. And then they're at Cleveland on Monday night in week number 14. And at least for right now, Baltimore is looking up in the standings to Cleveland in the AFC North. Now, I know that Baltimore has already defeated Cleveland earlier this season. They actually dominated them in week number 1 by the score 38-6. But we all know beating your division rivals twice in a season is never easy. And I guarantee you the Browns are definitely going to make some adjustments for that game. So we'll see how that plays out. After that, the Ravens should theoretically, be a little bit better off because week number 15, they're home for Jacksonville. Week number 16, they host the New York Giants, even though the Giants will probably have a lot to play for. And due to the fact that they are, in the NFC least, so to speak. And then Baltimore finishes up at home, on the road rather, versus Cincinnati. And of course, we know the news out of Cincinnati today that rookie quarterback Joe Burrow tore his ACL, so his season is done. So teams are definitely going to be lining up to try to get on the field to take on the Bengals right now. However, this is a Baltimore team. They've got to grow up, and they've got to grow up fast. And I mean, going on the road this year for the postseason won't be like it has been in years past due to the fact that most places don't have fans right now. And if they do have fans, it's a very limited amount. So it's something where, the Ravens and Lamar Jackson would not have to deal with, but they'd still have to go on the road. And at the end of the day, it's still a situation, as good as Lamar Jackson is, there's still, unfortunately for him, that what if on his resume, and his young resume at that, as far as being unable to get it done in the postseason. And not only that, it's only going to add to that due to the fact that he has come up short so far in 2020 versus the teams that he needs to beat, the elite teams. And for Lamar and the Ravens to take that next step and be a Super Bowl contender and get past the Pittsburghs and the Kansas Cities and the Tennessees in the AFC, he's going to have to step up. Performances like today ain't going to cut it. And then on top of that, as a whole, this Ravens team needs to step up because in that second half, their defense got punched in the mouth by the Tennessee Titans. And more importantly, they got punched in the mouth at the hands of Derrick Henry. They're going to be right in the mix. But if you're Baltimore, you definitely have to worry. You look at Miami and Buffalo in the AFC East. More than likely, the Raiders are expected to lose tonight at home versus Kansas City, but you never know until teams get on the field. But regardless of that outcome, the Raiders are definitely going to be in the mix. And then you got to look at the Browns, and then you also have to look at the Colts and the Titans coming out of the AFC South. And like I said, right now, Baltimore's down. They've lost a tiebreaker to Tennessee now, so they definitely have their work cut out for them. It's not a hurdle that cannot be overcome if you are the Baltimore Ravens as far as getting to the postseason. But this stretch right here has definitely made it tougher. So it's put up or shut up time for the Ravens. It's stretch run time for the Ravens. And we're definitely going to see what this team is made of as they look to get back to the postseason. But this time, definitely as a wild card. So, folks, that is going to wrap it up. And as always, I want to take this time out to thank you for tuning into the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. I want to thank all of you subscribers out there. And if you have not already, please feel free to subscribe to this channel. Now, if you're on Twitter, please feel free to follow me at 300 Pounds of Sports. And like I always say, if you follow me, it will be my pleasure to follow you right back. There is also the sports discussion group on Facebook at the Sports Depot 365. You can check it out, drop a line, and be a part of one of the better sports debating sites going on social media. So once again, fine folks, my name is William Martin. Take care and have yourselves a wonderful day.